All right, we're live in 2.5. All right, we're live. Yank 'em. Yeah.
Let's face the facts about me and you. Unspecified.
Take that any way you will.
Call you chocolate bear. The crowd will always talk and stare.
I feel exactly those feelings too, and that's why I keep them inside. 'Cause this bear.
Hey, Omega.
Yes, Gunner.
So drafts in a week. What do you think are my chances?
Well, Shane's running SmackDown, so you might have a shot at getting Mazzane level seats.
Oh man, I hope they're $20 like they used to be. That'd be great. But speaking of cheap things, let's start the show. That's right. There's no music. I forgot that. Oops. Ah! Welcome to episode number 217. No, 216. 216 of Smark Snark. My name's Gunner. That's Omega BR.
The first Pokemon Go reference of the show.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And also joining us this week, tapping his phone to collect Pokeballs, is Yankum. That's gross. We have Net Jester with us. Well, I figured you would. Because you're an upstanding gentleman. Netchester's here.
Live and direct from the beautiful downtown Target of Great Falls, Montana, where I'm looking over Doctor Who episodes. Hi, everybody.
I think he did.
Well, I don't know anybody who doesn't get erect when they shop at the wonderful store Target with all its low prices and
Would you quit being a shell?
Hey, I found the Legend of Korra set. It's on sale for $9.99.
That's the really funny part, is that he works at that Netchester works at Walmart. That's the best. Same as dog.
That's because Target has always been better than Walmart. That's a fact.
Well,
all right. Well,
would you rather have Subway or would you rather have a big pretzel?
All right. Well, let's get started with the news. So many topical things we can talk about here, but we're going to talk about the most important, which is that the UFC has been sold for a historic $4 billion to a group led by William Morris Endeavor and an international management group. Brock Lesnar earned $2.5 million for defeating Mark Hunt at UFC 200, the highest guaranteed pay for a fighter in UFC history. Conor McGregor previously got $1 million for UFC 196. Lesnar will also earn from pay-per-view sales and another $5,000 from Reebok, sending him up to earn between $5.5 and $8 million total. Jesus Christ, he made some money.
$5,000 or
million.
50?
$5.5 million.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that something like that's going to start a bidding war of some kind. Or something that makes the UFC, super expensive that fans are priced out and won't want to participate anymore.
Well, I don't agree with that because it was a special thing. Come on now.
All right, I'm willing to admit I could be wrong about that, but
it just seems to me that
did he fight?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I can't see how that would be fight of the night. I really can't.
Here's the thing: if he makes $5 million off one UFC fight, granted it was a very special occurrence and everything, and the 200th one and everything, but he makes $5 million at least off this one fight. And then his WWE contract is worth what? Probably about that same range, 5 or 6, to do, a dozen appearances, maybe 4 matches a year. I mean
you do a lot less work. You do a lot less work for the WWE doing what Brock does than what he did for this.
Yeah, because he doesn't have to have full training camps for the WWE.
And be in actual
has to stay
shape.
in decent shape.
Right.
I just find it funny he made so much money, so much more than any of their current UFC stars. It just goes to show you how big of a draw he actually is and why he has the contract he has, why he can do all the stuff. Brock fucking Lesnar, he can pretty much do whatever he wants to, clearly, except playing the NFL.
Ouch. It's a real thing real quick. Do you think our famous friendly man is going to throw a bit of a hissy when it comes to...
I think that he won't make as much, but he'll definitely make more than the $1 million guaranteed.
He's already thrown a hissy fit about how much money he's making. This is not new. They may have signed him for that fight at 202, but at some point this is going to come up again, especially with this news.
Well, let's put it this way. I really enjoyed the fact that Brock actually defeated Mark. That was pretty awesome, in my opinion. I don't think that Lesnar's going to fight again. I think that this is it, unless he really seriously wants to fucking kill himself. I can see him doing that and then failing at it. But I don't see. In a realistic sense, when he stops and thinks about it, I don't see him sitting there going, "Well, maybe I should."
Plus, there are other factors to consider, not the least of which is Vince.
He's not going to go in and fight just anybody, but he is going to, if the right opportunity, the right opponent, and he feels like fighting the person comes up, then he might do that.
Well, he is now ranked in the top 10 of heavyweight fighters of UFC. I think he's like 8th.
Yeah.
Yep.
But,
So, he's a win away from legitimately possibly having a title shot if he beats the right person.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he might want the belt back. That's always a possibility as well.
But he'd have to beat somebody like a number 1 or number 2, and that probably end up being Velasquez.
Like, we'll just see, though, because was he satisfied with that fight? Is that how he really wants to end his career? If he had such a problem with how he ended his career in the first way, where he had, legitimate problems, health problems, and he's got a chance to possibly win a UFC championship again in 2 fights, you'd have to take a second and think, because that would put him in a elite class.
Plus the fact that the first round of that was good, the third round of that was good, but the second round, it looks like he was defensive pretty much all that round.
Yeah, but he still was working. That was the problem. It was a tie round in the second round, and they gave it to Brock. And and all of them gave it to Brock because there was no clear advantage by Hunt. But the point of the matter is this: if Lesnar is enjoying his time where he's being leisurely and wrestling for the WWE, or if he's unavailable from the WWE and started making more UFC appearances, time will tell. Brock Lesnar will do what Brock Lesnar wants to do, and that's the answer you're going to get for now. Do I see him fighting for the UFC? Yes. Do I see him winning another belt? No. Plain and simple.
Why would he fight more? Like, at this point, he's done pretty much. The only reason would be to make more money, and Brock doesn't really need more money with what he's making from WWE. He's proved everything he needs to prove at this point. He's still got it. So,
but with the competitor that Brock is and the level of athlete that he is, the chance to be world champion legitimately once again is something that would intrigue someone like that. I'm not saying that he would jump straight into it. I'm saying that if the opportunity arises, Brock might just go, you know what, screw it. I had a short camp and beat Mark Hunt. What do I really need to do? How much more do I need to work out? I am already a genetic freak. And go for it and put himself in the category of one of the best ever, without question.
I don't see Dana White booking him to win the title. Like, again.
I could totally see where you would say that. I mean, the booking there would be, a pretty astounding thing, but they've already got their, UFC 200 bill. Do they draw more with Brock? I mean, who else is drawing right now? I mean, John Jones, excuse me, sorry, I had something in my nose.
He's drawing something through his nose. That's what he's doing right now.
Exactly. So, I mean, the UFC, I mean, the card was kind of boring.
Ronda needs to have her comeback story, which she's starting, but she's not going to be at the level she was before. They need someone who can sell surefire pay-per-views, and Brock is that guy. And it's to bring him in for 200 to make it a special card was one thing, but at some point soon they're going to be at like 208, and there's going to be fuck all to do, and they're going to be thinking,
"No, I've got your card. I've got your card for 208, and the headline is Sylvester Stallone versus Arnold Schwarzenegger in the main event for who is the least understandable person in the history of ever."
Yeah, I think we'll call that the escape plan match.
Special guest referee Mills Lane.
All right, moving on. TNA Impact will be moving to Thursdays at 8 p.m. starting July 21st to avoid conflicting with SmackDown's move to Tuesdays. We will also be moving to on July 21st to Thursdays. More on that later in the show. Billy Corgan gave TNA money for the last set of TV tapings in exchange for ownership percentage instead of merely a loan. Dave Meltzer reports that talks of a sale of the company are coming to a head. So in other words, TNA will be sold by the end of the summer, more than likely. To Billy Corgan, more than likely.
Well, that's a good and a bad thing. I mean, I'm glad that TNA is still alive, but what's it going to look like after the sale?
And what percentage of control does Dixie Carter have when she sells it to Billy Corgan?
See, say there's a good thing and a bad thing to this, and that's holy shit. Remember I was talking about that fan earlier? Yeah.
Yep. Jesus Christ. So, yes, his fan. That's,
sorry about that. That sounds oddly like a moped next to the microphone. What was I even saying? Jesus Christ. Oh, I don't understand why Billy Corgan would want TNA of all things.
Because he's a lifelong wrestling fan. He's already involved, and he's already invested, right?
Right.
Yeah, he's balls deep.
There's a certain point where you cut your losses and you go, I don't really want to do this anymore. And I would think with TNA, he would be at that point. Because as a brand, it's pretty much worthless. Like, at this point...
Well, the problem isn't the fact that it's worthless. The problem is the fact that, it's got the direction that it's going in. And if Billy thinks that he could do something better with it than what Dixie did, then I don't see a reason why not. Why it couldn't be better.
I think it's too late at this point. I think anything associated with the brand...
It's not like he can't rebrand it.
Right, exactly.
Well, he could easily rebrand it.
I'm just saying, like, it would almost be easier for him to start from scratch, I think, aside from the TV deal that TNA inexplicably keeps finding itself with. It just never ceases to amaze me.
All right, moving on. Let's see here. The weight limit for the Cruiserweight Classic continues to be enforced throughout each taping, with those who have advanced being told that they must make weight at all times. Jesse Sorensen, Aaron Solo, Jesus Urinet, and Vandal Ortegon and Kai Katana have been named alternates in case of injury or missed weight.
So happy for Jesse Sorensen to land on his feet after literally, I mean, if you don't know his story, and it's the most LOL TNA thing possibly imaginable. But I'm just happy because he was a young dude and he had plenty of potential, and he's finally back on his feet. Yeah, he broke his neck in a match with Zema Ion. He was
TNA did nothing for him.
He was like 22 or 23. He was still really young. And he had a match with Zema Ion. Zema he moonsaulted off the top or the second rope or something and just landed weird. And it looked fine at the time, but he broke his neck. And then they said, we're by you, Jesse. You know, he's our son, is the famous quote from Dixie. And he got an office job for about like a year. And then they fired him and didn't pay any of his medical bills, basically. So he's a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a neck that is not broken, and no longer with TNA. And it'd be really kind of fitting to see him in this tournament as like a welcoming back to the world of wrestling. Not that I want to see anyone get popped for being fat, but
well, I guess Chris Hero,
I'm talking about in the tournament, not people who are already fat and already were fat.
Poor guy. I prefer. You know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I prefer him at this weight that he's at right now, as opposed to being at like the skinnier weight that we've seen him at before. I mean, I understand that it's not as healthy, and I understand that blah 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 blah. But dude looks more like Stan Hansen than anything else at this point.
Hey, that's a good enough reason for me.
Speaking of people WWE should bring back, they're interested in bringing back Kurt Hawkins and Jimmy Wang Yang.
All of my yes.
The latter recently being backstage at Raw. Luchas Volador Jr. And Rush are also on the radar. Moose, whose WWE signing has been delayed due to a prior domestic incident when he was with the NFL, may end up signing with TNA instead.
No, Moose is not dumb enough to do that. He'd either stay in ROH or go to the WWE.
Well, MLW reported that he was going to sign with TNA, or at least he had preliminary talks with them.
I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I
don't see Moose staying with ROH. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah. All right. No, I can. But as far as the other people they're looking at, Rush is someone they should have looked at a long time ago. He is so, so good and, like, perfect fit for the WWE. Also, who's fucking excited for Jimmy Wang Yang? Fuck yeah.
Like I said, I want him back now.
Cruiserweight champion in WCW and WWE. I believe. Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy. Not gonna lie.
He's a good wrestler. He's a great worker.
WWE contacted Cody Rhodes in part due to a project featuring his father, Dusty, a book called The Last Cowboy.
Well, I mean, until they talk to him about coming back and treating him the way they should be treating him, I'm not all that interested.
I'm assuming it's just a merchandising thing.
Yeah, well, it's probably a merchandising thing in that they're like, hey, we need some quotes so we can sell this book about your dad and make a bunch of money.
And the final participant for the Bola is Jushin Thunder Liger.
Ooh, now that'll get my
shit.
I'm excited.
The final two participants announced, and it's now the match that I must see during this Bola weekend, is Jushin Liger and Pentagon Jr. I think that match would be fucking amazing. I must see it.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
So, we're going to go into a 15-minute timer right here.
Ding, ding, ding.
So, here is the 12th. So the 12th annual Bola is scheduled to take place on September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Reseda. Here are the participants. Adam Cole, Chris Hero, Cody Rhodes, Dalton Castle, Phoenix, Jack Gallagher, Jeff Cobb, John Hennigan, Jushin Thunder Liger, Kamatachi, I think I got that right, Kyle O'Reilly, Mark Andrews, Mark Haskins, Marty Scurll, Matt Sydal, Matthew Riddle, Pentagon Jr., Pete Dunne, Ricochet, Sami Callihan, Tommy End, Trevor Lee, Will Ospreay, and Zack Sabre Jr. This is the best tournament this year. This is the best. I wouldn't say tournament, but I would say that it is the best tournament in North America this year. There you go.
Just that collection of talent alone is incredible. To get all those people in one.
If you were to hire all of those people, and then you were to put them into like TNA, for example, and you like shuffled them in and rebranded TNA, it would be the best roster ever. Because holy shit, listen to all those people.
Is it my imagination, or does this give us a little bit of an insight to what the Cruiserweight Championship's going to be?
No.
You mean the Cruiserweight Classic?
Cruiserweight Classic.
There's some similar names. Jack Gallagher or Gallagher, however you pronounce it, is one that stands out clearly in that list to me as one of the dudes who's participating in both of these, which is going to be pretty interesting. And his profile is going to rise and already has risen a shitload in the past few months. And I don't know, there's so many dream matches. Like, there's so many matches that I have to see. Cody Rhodes and Dalton Castle is the other match that I have to see during this Bola weekend for sure.
I want to see Dalton Castle and Zack Sabre Jr. and Sami Callihan and either Phoenix or Pentagon Jr.
I think Sami is the favorite to win. I think it's a good time. There's so many people leaving and so much uncertainty, and it's pretty clear that Sammy's staying on the independents for a while. Wouldn't be a bad idea to give him a run or give him this. I think he's the right guy in the right time. That's my prediction. I think Sami Callihan's going to win this.
We're going to cover the draft. Yes, we're working on it. We're getting there. Anybody else have a prediction for Bola? Omega BR. Omega BR.
Well, you see, the thing is that one guy could win it, but then there's this other guy. He could win it too, and if you do it that way...
Yankum, look down. You just stepped in a bunch of crap.
What? Oh, no, I was doing my Omega BR impression.
I know.
That was not an Omega BR impression. I can tell you didn't ride the fence at all.
No, he's riding it right now. Literally. That's why he's on mobile. All right, so we're going to get into the draft here because, that's coming up next week. And I figured that we could go through the WWE draft and pick and choose on which superstars go where. So, essentially, the draft is next week at about this time. And we're going to go through the website fantasy-draft.wwe.com. You can go there and draft your own fantasy roster, but this is going to be ours. So I'll give you guys a name, and you say where you think he's going to go and or why. John Cena.
SmackDown.
He's a draw. He'll draw people to SmackDown.
I thought that was pretty much confirmed already, was that he was going to be on SmackDown.
That was the news that I had been hearing anyway, and really it makes sense because he's going to be out of town a lot, and the scheduling for the tapings. Well, I guess they're going live now. They'll probably work better for his schedule somehow, I'm sure.
Right. AJ Styles.
Raw. He's going to be on Raw at least for a little while, maybe just until next year's draft. They just brought him in, so it doesn't make sense to move him off of the flagship show just yet.
I completely agree with that. Okay, Seth Rollins.
I think Seth is staying on Raw. I don't know if I'm necessarily the only one who thinks that, but I just feel like the fact that he hasn't been around for a while, he was
Stephanie's
so good.
Gonna be on Raw, right?
Yeah, he was so good on his run with the title that I can't imagine him going to SmackDown.
All right, I agree. Seth Rollins going to Raw. Dean Ambrose.
Raw. He's the WWE champion. They're not going to move him off of Raw.
Roman Reigns.
I assume that through all of this, they're actually going to keep the Shield together. I know the idea might be to punish Reigns by putting him on SmackDown, but that just doesn't make sense with what they're trying to build. That's my guess.
I'm going to say he's going to SmackDown because it'll be another strong babyface to go to SmackDown. I don't think that they'll need him on Raw necessarily, but I do think that they won't be able to keep Cena and Roman Reigns apart. Taker.
Is he still wrestling? Does it even matter?
That's the name that came up, man.
Just put him on Raw. Who cares?
Right, we'll put him on Raw. Lesnar.
SmackDown, I'm thinking.
Care to elaborate?
Why? Why do you say SmackDown?
Well, Raw is pretty much established, and if they're going to do SmackDown, SmackDown Live. They need real draws. Cena's a real draw. We know Lesnar's a real draw. Even though SmackDown is a brand with a history, it's not a brand with a live history, and that's what they're going for.
That's actually the smartest thing I've heard come out of your mouth in a month.
Don't worry, I won't let it go to my head.
All right, Randy Orton.
I think he ends up on SmackDown.
I agree, actually.
Because it's pretty clear the Authority is going to be involved in Raw. So why rehash that shit again? For God's sake, don't do that.
The ninth person that comes up is Nikki Bella.
Well, I was going to elaborate a little more and say that I think Orton will be the top heel on SmackDown.
I can see where you would say that.
Isn't Nikki Bella injured? Has a broken neck?
Yep, but they're still drafting her.
Who cares then? Just throw her in the trash.
All right. Well, we'll put her on Tuesday with Cena. All right, Charlotte.
This brings up an interesting question. What in the fuck are they going to do with the women's division, the women's title? Is that going to be cross-brand? And that's a lot of stuff that we don't know yet.
Right. I think that they'll leave her on Raw. Because I think that they'll put the tag team division on SmackDown. All right. Sasha Banks. Kofi Kingston. Come on, guys. Let's get this going a little quicker.
Well, does the New Day get split up?
No. I think the New Day gets drafted. I think the New Day.
Just like the NWO, baby.
Yep. I think it happens like that. I think that the entire New Day gets drafted. But I think that they'll put them on SmackDown.
Besides, are they actually going to break up the Wyatts anytime soon? I don't think so.
So if they're going to put Kofi on SmackDown, they'll put Big E on SmackDown. They'll put Xavier Woods on SmackDown. Kevin Owens. Gentlemen. This is true. Well, then, in that case, then, would you say... Right. But do you think that they'll put Sami Zayn on Raw, then? Keep those two apart? Right. Cesaro.
I think this is Cesaro's time on Raw to be the rising babyface of that brand.
I agree.
It's clear they like him. This is the perfect time to give him a big run. I don't know which brand he's going to be on, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. I honestly think he fits SmackDown better, but that's because I'm thinking about the old SmackDown. But
that's right.
if this is the time, this is as good a time as any for Cesaro, and he's got the gimmick. He's got everything he needs. So I'd say he's going Raw.
Big Show.
Retirement.
Oh, you got to pick one.
The trash. Well, then SmackDown, then. That's basically retirement. You can just come out and fucking punch someone every once in a while, then smile and wave.
All right, Big Show goes on SmackDown. Kane goes on Raw. Talks to the Authority. Right. So
what is he
Raw
going to do? I think
Right,
there's a good
exactly.
chance he could be announced as the GM for Raw.
Well, spoilers, the GM for SmackDown is going to be Brian.
You think so?
No, we know so. They did it themselves.
I think.
Well, there's Mick Foley, but
I think
Right.
what they're going to try and do with SmackDown anyway is make it more the wrestling, quote unquote, show like it was back when the brand split first started. And they're going to be longer matches and stuff, and it's going to be more about the competition.
Well, here's
They're
my
going to try and
question
make it more
then.
like a real sport. So it'll work. I think they'll find a way to make it work.
All right. So we're putting Kane on Raw. Next up is Chris Jericho.
I think he's going to SmackDown.
I think with the older crowd and the people that he'll want to work with, he'll end up on SmackDown. Becky Lynch will end up on Raw. Becky Lynch ends up on Raw, yes.
Sure.
Paige on Raw.
Why not?
Sheamus.
Paige will go wherever ADR will go.
That's a good point. This is true. Well, then they would put ADR on Raw as well because Paige is there. Anderson and Gallows. Do you think they stick with AJ Styles?
They got to stick with AJ
draft?
Styles for a little bit.
And
So
I
they
think
stay Raw.
And I think you've got to bring in your other club member.
Well, that we gotta wait until you gotta wait until they raid NXT for this. This is just people that are on the roster right now. SmackDown. Do you think Enzo and Big Cass go to SmackDown then? With a Fran John Cena?
I think it would work.
The tag team titles?
I think that would work just fine. It gives them their own brand and their own time to shine and probably give them longer matches, which they need.
Wyatt's as well.
Wasn't that part of the whole thing of bringing the Wyatts back as they were going to play big into the brand split somehow?
I thought so. I don't know why. But I would put the Wyatts on SmackDown, question mark?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you need good heels over there, and I mean, what heels have we really sent so far? Not many, and
okay.
I wouldn't call the Wyatts good heels, but good enough.
Right. So here's what I'm going to say. I say they split up the Usos for the draft.
Ooh. So
have you watched either of them work singles matches? They're god fucking awful.
I mean, so they stick together and go to SmackDown?
Probably. And they'll be constants in the tag scene, the title chase scene.
All right. I got Aiden English. I heard that the Vaudevillains were going to be split up because they don't like the gimmick and totally revamp everything that they want to do.
That sucks.
Why? I mean, I guess they could both do their own style of gimmicks that they were before, but maybe they're bringing Jack Gallagher in to work with Gotch. Who knows? I have no fucking idea, dude.
Maybe.
That sounds like a goddamn terrible idea, though.
So, Raw or SmackDown? Aiden English. Come on, guys, quick.
Raw.
All right. Well, we got halfway through the roster.
We got through all
I
the
just want you
important
guys,
people.
relatively speaking. We're going to go through the rest here, but I just want you guys to say Raw or SmackDown immediate. Don't even think about it. Apollo Crews,
SmackDown.
Alicia Fox, Raw.
SmackDown.
The dumpster.
Baron Corbin,
Raw.
Raw.
Bo Dallas,
SmackDown.
Does that include the rest of the social outcasts then?
no, it doesn't. Bubba Ray and Devon,
Raw.
Curtis Axel,
SmackDown.
Dana Brooke,
Raw.
NXT.
Darren Young, Raw,
Raw.
Yeah.
Absolutely Raw. Darren Young.
Ziggles,
SmackDown. And he finally gets the push he deserves.
Emma,
Wherever Ryder is.
Raw.
Epico,
SmackDown.
You gave Puerto
Why do I
Rico
even
on
ask?
SmackDown. That's perfect.
Eva Marie. You got to put the red on the Raw brand.
NXT.
Fandango,
Farther off television, the better.
Does Fandango come with Tyler Breeze?
I mean, they're officially a
Yes, he
tag team
is.
right now. So Raw, because
SmackDown.
there's not very many tag
And then
teams
put
on
Golden
Raw.
Truth to the other team. Golden Truth goes over to SmackDown then, just to end that shitty feud.
Just for the record, we've sent every tag team to SmackDown so far.
whatchamacallit? I've got Jack Swagger and Heath Slater.
Unemployment.
SmackDown.
I am so positive that Swagger is going to be gone.
Kalisto,
I just don't see him sticking with it.
Raw.
Yeah, Kalisto stays on Raw.
Connor, Raw.
The Ascension! They can be the only tag team on Raw on Ascend.
Lana, Raw.
She's
Wherever Rusev went.
Yeah.
Mark Henry on SmackDown, Maurice on Raw, Naomi on SmackDown, Natalia on Raw, Neville on Raw. I'm really literally going through. Primo, where'd we stick fucking what's his face?
Who cares?
Epico, SmackDown.
Epico was on
Rosa
SmackDown.
Mendez.
Rosa
Raw.
Mendez? When was the last time she was even on TV?
Rusev on Raw, R-Truth on Raw, Gotch on Raw, Kara on Raw, Summer Rae on Raw, Tamina on SmackDown, The Miz on SmackDown.
We're just
No,
facing who we don't
No,
have
you put
at this
Maurice
point.
on Raw. You can't send Miz to SmackDown. They're a package.
Oh, no, you're right. Never mind.
She's not even a
All right, well-
competitor. She's just his wife/manager.
Right. Okay, so we have two more people on Raw than we do on SmackDown. Okay, so Tyler Breeze. Hold on, wait, we're not done yet. Tyler Breeze goes to
But
SmackDown.
you're not going to have an even split with this because Raw's 3 hours and SmackDown is 2.
Right. So
Right.
Raw
So
should
we're
have
pretty
a
much-
few more people than SmackDown does.
Honestly,
so
Raw
you
should
can
have
get
like
people in and out.
4 or 5 more people than SmackDown does
At
at least.
Once again, I fear we're putting far more thought into this than anybody in the WWE creative is.
That is very true. I
Okay,
guarantee
so what
that.
we're gonna do here is we're gonna go on smarksnark.com or Smark on the twitter.com/smarksnark page, and you can check out our particular draft because they give you a nice little linky thing. Yankum is going to be so kind as to tweet that out for us. Thank you, Yankum. But in the meantime, we're going to go down through the Dairy Queen drive-thru. Doc, why don't you give us the ratings?
And now time for the ratings. Impact did pretty damn well. 410,000 viewers. That is up quite a bit, almost 100,000 from 322,000 from last week, and that is a best for Pop TV. And promotion and marketing, believe it or not, will do things for you if you use it well. Who'da thunk? Did anyone else? Did anyone actually watch that on TV in this call? I want to know. No one?
Not on TV, no.
Okay, I just wanted to see if we added to that ratings boost.
Right.
SmackDown is it's got 2,241,000 viewers. It's up 8% from last week's 2,080,000, just a little over 2 million there. And then Raw was up 3,170,000 viewers. That's up 19%, a little over 19% from last week's 4th of July edition. To be expected, which drew 2,658,000, which was not the lowest rating of all time. Probably not even close, actually.
It's close, yes. 2,512, I think it was the lowest rating ever.
Really?
We got that a couple weeks ago.
I thought it was like 2.2 at this point, but I'm probably wrong.
Jester with the birthdays.
Sorry, no.
Oh, I see how it is, Jester. You can't even do it yourself. So I'm going to do it because
Thank
Yankum's
you.
obviously busy.
I was
Isn't he?
tweeting.
Yankum. Yankum is busy tweeting. Happy birthday.
I was tweeting.
Happy birthday on the 14th to Bubba Ray Dudley and Jeff Jarrett. On the 15th, Cherry, BXB Hulk, Mil Mascaras, and Jesse Ventura. On the 16th, Blue Demon Jr., Bobby Lashley. On the 17th, Kiyoshi, Mike Knox, his beard, Daphne, Lacey Von Erich, Mike Knox's beard's son, Masato Yoshino. It's really funny how all three of them share the same birthday. 18th, Carlos Colon, Joey Mercury, and Al Snow. On the 19th is Jeremy Borash, Ray Bucanero, Jinder Mahal, and Tony Mamaluke. And on the 20th, it's Player Uno, Mike Sanders, and Zorro.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mike Sanders.
And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR. Omega BR. Filling in for Omega BR, Yankum DGS.
And jumping forward to 1967, in San Francisco, California, a double title match takes place between the WWF World Heavyweight Champion Bruno Sammartino and San Francisco NWA United States Heavyweight Champion Ray Stevens. Ray Stevens defeated Sammartino by countout after hitting him with his bombs away. Stevens claimed to be the new WWF champion because he won the match, but the WWF did not recognize him since the rules stated that a WWF title cannot change hands on a countout. And finally, in 2000, Funaki defeats Charles Poindexter Anderson to win the Texas Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight title in San Antonio, Texas. Also at that event, Rudy Boy Gonzalez and Bone Crusher defeat the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, for the TWA Tag Team title, beginning Gonzalez and Bone Crusher's second reign. And that was This Week in Wrestling History.
Happy trails. Let's see here. Happy trails to Darren Young. Broke a 6-year single losing streak by winning the Battle Royal on Raw. 6 years singles losing streak.
And he broke it by doing nothing. That's how you can tell life coaching is working.
There's Bob Backlund for you.
Seriously, though, that dude paid his fucking dues. A 6-year singles losing streak. Like, at this point, they don't have a choice but to push him.
I wouldn't go that far.
It would be a dick move not to push him after he stuck around for that long on a losing streak. How about that?
Well, I mean, you got Zack Ryder. I mean, they're going to push it. They're pushing him.
Fuck Zack Ryder.
Oh, please. You love Zack Ryder. Don't get me started. And happy trails to The Rock was named the highest paid actor in the world by Forbes, earning over $400 million in total. Also, fuck Forbes, because their website is quite possibly the worst thing on the planet.
Way to go, Rocky, though. He is, like, officially, and has been for a while now, probably the biggest action star in Hollywood, hands down.
And he's conquered it, and he's done a damn good job. Now, if we could only have Brock versus Rock at WrestleMania 33, wouldn't that be nice? What should we watch this week in wrestling? Net Jester.
Well, I was thinking this week on account of I had a few extra days off that I want to go in to watch the first half of Lucha Underground on account of I totally completely missed it. So I'm just getting catched up on the whole Matanza situation and all that stuff. So you got nothing else better to do, go watch the first half of this season of Lucha Underground again. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, how much should we watch this week in wrestling? Oh, Jesus Christ. Dog, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that. Oh, okay, just a second. Okay. Oh man, that match is hilarious, by the way, and just the way that he said it. Yeah. This past week in wrestling, it's not a match, but you should go back and watch the Cruiserweight Classic Bracketology special, which is like one of the best production pieces that WWE has made in quite a while. It's got Mauro Ranallo, Daniel Bryan, and Corey Graves all breaking down the Cruiserweight Classic, and holy fuck do I want them as an announced team now.
Omega BR, are you still with us?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
All right. Well, I'd like to remind you that the Cruiserweight Classic starts tomorrow night, Wednesday, at some time on the network. And I would like to recommend playing off Yankums. I would like to... That whole New Day versus Wyatt Family Compound thing on Raw really reminded me of the Junkyard Invitational from Bash at the Beach 1999, where a bunch of wrestlers got in a junkyard, and the first one to escape over the fence was the winner. And it reminded me of such because you couldn't see anything, and a lot of it was from overhead, and the cuts were really weird, and kind of like the segment on Raw. So,
what I'm surprised y'all haven't said is the deletion. Because I understand that was this time last week, but deletion. Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy in that epic 7.
The final deletion.
The final deletion. You need to go watch it. It is the best. The best. I love it. I would highly recommend watching that, and then showing it to all your non-wrestling fans, because quite honestly, you can't really rip on it because it's so good. It's so bad, but it's so good at the same time. All of the imagery and all of the Easter eggs that you would find in the particular in that particular video is pretty awesome. But guess what? Yeah, you get to watch that after this, so you're going to react to it, and that's going to be a bonus episode because it deserves its own episode. All right.
Why are you mooing?
I think his girlfriend's over. SmarkSnark.com, Twitter.com/SmarkSnark, Facebook.com/SmarkSnark, 812-408-9666 if you want to leave a message. We'll play it on the show. Thank you all for listening, and we wish you well in your past, present, and future endeavors.
Tune in next week when we'll hear Omega BR say...
good night, Albuquerque.